What are you reading now?
Oh, it's Ready Player 2, one of the gifts that I got as a 6 month gift from Keys. It's the second in the Ready Player series. Um, Pretty fun one.
Yeah, you liking it so far?
Yeah, I'm just hoping they don't, whenever they make the second movie, that they try to stay a bit more true to the book than they did in the first one.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, heck, if it wasn't for us talking about the whole possible sequel of it, I wouldn't have known that the book had came out, and now I have it, and I'm enjoying the read so far.
Yeah, so you can thank All the Mess with Max and Jeff.
Yeah, for keeping me in the know and me learning things on my own show.
Learning's fun. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
That's where we're going with this
Oh,
today.
yeah, yeah. So that's kind of off par for you. Usually you're reading something that it has something to do with our show.
I know, and it's not like I don't have sports books. I was just like, I'm going to present that new book that I'm so excited that I got as a gift, and it's so good to have.
Shout out to Keys.
For sure. Because she hooked me
Go
up with some cool
Keys.
gift. Go Keys.
And then your Father's Day gift.
Yeah, it's actually right over here.
Look at that.
Yeah, and then my other gift is right up there.
So I was unloading my wife's car the other day, and I see this box of Yahtzee. Looks like a book almost.
Yeah.
And I said, "What the hell is that?" And she goes, "Oh, that's Keys's Father's Day present for Jeff." And I went, "Oh, wait a second. Jeff doesn't have any kids."
Yeah, it was a 6 month gift that instantly turned into a haha inside joke for Father's Day gift.
Happy birthday, Daddy. So today we are talking about sports movies because Jeff is a sports guy.
I am. And actually, before we get into the sports movies, I have to do a little change really quickly.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. I'm sporting my Phillies cap. Let's see it. Uh, Getting my good old Phillies hat. Doing it upright. Let's see what hat he comes and pulls out. I'm curious on this one. Talking about some sports movies, got to get the sports attire right. Getting the Pokemon Big League Pikachu, my crossover Pokemon nerdism and sportsism. Oh, okay, okay.
What about Pokemon?
I said I had to go with the hat, repping the sports thing, and then I even had to go with the shirt for my Big League Pikachu because it's both Pokemon and oh man, the Georgia Bulldogs hat. Yeah,
Or I could have went with
the Seminoles one. Yeah,
kind of feeling the dogs today though.
they're the national champs. You got to support them.
I mean, those are my boys right there.
Go Dogs.
Literally, almost all of my football team or not football teams, sports teams are Georgia based, except for the Seminoles.
I have my Nebraska hat, except for it was a work hat that I had for a long time, so it's pretty beat up. And that's the same way with like my Wellington Heat hat for the lower league baseball team one. That's one I was wearing yesterday when we went to the baseball game, and it's just pretty dingy.
I mean, you guys can't really tell, but like, so is mine a little bit.
Yeah.
because white and fat men don't really go together very well.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm just saying.
I had a few white Yankees caps that were like that. They quickly became yellow Yankees caps and didn't
Because
exactly look great.
the Yankees are yellow.
Yeah. I mean, I did have it in like 5 different colors, so
All right.
went with the
I had a Braves hat. I don't know really what happened to it. And then I had a hat that's been signed by the entire Nationals team of 2014.
Okay.
And then I had another hat that was signed by the 2014 Marlins.
Marlins.
Yep. Because I lived in Florida, and that's where like most of the teams that like are everyone's favorite go for spring training is multiple places in Florida. So
I
like it
mean,
was a 2 hour drive to go down and watch them.
there is the in the springtime. Is it the Sunshine League?
Yep.
That's based out of Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, you have the Braves going down there for spring training. You have the
Right.
Washington Nationals. You have, um,
Well, like you said,
uh,
you have the Marlins. You have. I'm pretty sure the Rays spend time in that one as well.
yeah. So a lot of different sports. A lot of different sports.
All the sports
You know that
balls.
sport ball. Watching that sport ball.
You know, the Blurns ball from
You know, there's
Futurama.
probably one person that we know that probably won't watch the show because he's not a fan of sports.
It just
I mean, if
doesn't
Jacob
fit.
gets on here,
Yeah, could be like, oh, you guys are
so
talking about sports. I got other things to do.
like, oh look, floor. So we went to a baseball game last night. The
Yeah, we
Derby
did.
Twins. That was pretty fun.
It was a very quick game. Derby blew out the visiting
15 to
team
nothing.
15-0, and then in the second game, like I think they ended it at 13-2 because of the same run.
14 to 2.
14-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? Let's just stop.
No, let's call this. I'm surprised that they didn't call it in the second game after the first 4 batters got beamed by a ball.
I could not believe watching that game, watching that pitcher hit every single batter that went up. If I was that next batter, I'd been like, nah,
Yeah. Nope.
no. Switch out, please. Pitch hitter. Out.
And there's a part of you that feels bad for that pitcher because it's very rare where a pitcher intentionally is trying to hit a batter.
4 in a row, though.
But 4 in a row is just
It wasn't 4 in total.
no, it was in a row.
Yeah. And then the next pitcher that got up, his pants were really, really white, which means he doesn't play a lot.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you had mentioned the whole DH rule.
Yeah.
And that's the other reason why typically pitchers within that area, if there's a designated hitter, they're not up at bat. They're not sliding into any base at that point. So those pants aren't gonna get
No, these
all.
pants were so white.
But that was some white pants. Those were.
It was
some
like he
overly
never
white.
wore them before.
That's true.
Those pants had never seen the light of day. I don't know. So Jeff, what's your favorite sport while I'm closing my door?
My favorite sport is probably college football. I think football was the sport that really got me into just sports in general, watching sports. But I played football in high school, and I've just continued to be a fan of watching football for the rest of it.
I gave up on the NHL last season.
I think you mean the NFL,
No, the NHL.
hockey.
Yeah. Oh, the season. Yeah, the last football season. Though I did give up on the NFL.
Yeah. No, my Avs won this year. It's been one of those close, but not winning it all for like the last 20 years.
Baseball was the number one sport for me last year because my team went the distance. Both of them, actually.
Yeah.
So a good seasons for Georgia in baseball.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
right.
We're like,
Um,
baseball could have it this year. It's fine.
it's all good. Now,
Yeah.
growing up in Oklahoma and then in Kansas, I never really was tied down to a particular like. I mean, there was KU and K State, and then OU and OSU. But even at those ones, I wasn't like within that same city on the college level for me to be like,
Right.
oh yeah, that's the team I go for. So I kind of just went for teams who I either liked the style that they played, or they had a really, I'm one of those people who I look at what this team is, their history behind them, what makes them a good team or had made them a good team, and I'm just like, oh, I like their storied history.
You could always
So
be a bandwagoner.
I've often been accused of being a bandwagoner with being a Yankees fan and a Packers fan. Whenever I first was a Nebraska fan was back in the mid 90s whenever they were winning national championships. So I had always been put into the whole bandwagoner kind of thing.
Speaking of bandwagoners, hey Heather, what's going on? How's Tampa doing?
uh,
That's why she's saying ew. No, sir.
yeah.
Oh, 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 oh,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think she's going to be double pissed at me now because with the whole me being an Avs fan and the Avs beating the Lightning, that's a double sting.
Yeah, yeah. Heather's all about some Tampa right now, and it's not really the fact that because she moved to Tampa, I just give her hell about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's okay. Jacob hates being here. Good, we hate you here too. Have fun. Uh, so tonight we're going to talk about sports and movies about sports.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
I have my
Listen, this is
whole
a child-friendly show.
and also I already have all my Brady conspiracies that I won't get into because that's a whole other topic, and we have to focus on the movies today.
On the movies, man, how funny would it be if they actually made a movie about Tom Brady?
They technically already have a documentary series about Tom Brady
No,
called Man in
no,
the
not a
Arena.
documentary series, a movie. Like
Like the Kurt Warner
Blindside.
movie that they just did,
It
the
was about
American
him.
Underdog.
That
It's
was about
about
him.
it was about Kurt Warner.
Okay, is Tom Brady Kurt Warner?
No, but I'm saying, is that what you're more meaning? Because it wasn't a
Yeah, like a
documentary.
movie.
Okay, right.
Heather, no, no,
I
no, ma'am.
like. Here's the thing: as much as I'll say I had that Patriots hate. I was anti Brady for all my reasons. The Man in the Arena series was actually a well done series.
I hate the Patriots.
I know you do, but
I hate just about anything about New England, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it. Yep, you have to imagine
yeah,
like
yeah.
one.
Keys already knows.
Oh, what? Oh, we've talked about him.
Yeah,
I just don't think with Heather here, it's the appropriate
right.
time.
No, no. And again, we're here to talk about the movies, not my weird conspiracy theories on Tom
What we
Brady.
need to do is have Heather on one day, and you and her debate.
uh,
Truth.
well, you did mention Blindside.
Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
I think we discussed the whole Blindside on favorite movies, least underappreciated movies, and I had
Yeah.
said while I liked the concept of it, I didn't care for it much just because of interviews that came out after the fact. But I mean, still as a movie, I do think they nailed it. As a movie.
I like the movie. I know that the movie was a little bit less than truthful, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed the movie, and I love Sandy B. Love her in anything she's in.
Um, staying within the realm of football movies, probably
Yeah,
my favorite go-to football movie would be Remember the Titans.
that's a good one.
I've watched that movie so many times. It's just it's one of those very like inspirational kind of things.
All American is a very popular series right now.
All American is a very popular one. Yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet. It's on my list, but I have I get caught up in like movies or shows I've already seen and that I rewatch,
Yep. I mean,
like One
I'm
Tree
getting
Hill,
ready.
the originals, Vampire
I'm right.
Diaries.
I'm getting ready to do that with Stranger Things before the whole get into season 4 and the things that happen with that. Rewatching now. Does she mean Friday Night Lights the series or the movie?
Probably the series since Heather was talking about All American.
Oh, okay. Because I never really got. I watched some episodes. I never really got into Friday Night Lights the series, but I really enjoyed Friday Night Lights the movie.
Yeah, yeah. She's talking about Stranger Things right now,
Yeah.
dropping the last 2 episodes tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm on season 3. I know I'm a latecomer here. Oh, she said movie.
Oh,
Good
she said
job,
the
baby.
movie. Yeah. Friday Night Lights the movie is really like one of those kind of things. Like if you know about Texas football, or if you're from a very football town and
Yep.
you watch that movie, you're like, oh man, even though this is a movie, you can relate like so much to it.
Yeah.
Like just with like
Um
knowing like because like you look at that and it's one of those, even though it's like high school football, I did 3 years of high school football, and it was very much one of those where, yeah, it's as Jamie puts it, it's a religion. You study every other team that you're going to play. You know each player. You know things about them. You have this weird hate. Like you don't even have to know anybody from that school, but you don't like that school because whatever reason you want to come up with for that week.
I mean, I get it. The high school that I was in, we were 6A champions like 9 years running.
Right.
And I hated Mel High and I hated Bayside High. I really didn't like Satellite. They were assholes. Fight every game, every time.
That's almost what happened at well, whenever I was going to OC, there's two schools like that in Oklahoma. Jinx is one of them, and they're just known as like the football school.
Heather knows. Heather knows.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my wife is from Mel High, so or wanted Mel High. She wanted Mel High so bad. Um, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, I could be a pirate. It's fine.
um, on a more light side, I'm a big, and again, it's our favorite with Adam Sandler. You can't talk about a great goofy sports movie without mentioning Waterboy.
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorites. That's actually what I was gonna go with. Um, especially being like it was college football. And him going back to school and his Abdullah Amlagada. No, Mr. Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
No, girl.
What?
She's never seen Waterboy, though. We will talk about the other one that she did mention here in a second, because it is one of my favorite ones, as far as like a more comedic side of it.
Heather, I've known you for like 12 years. How have you never seen Waterboy? Listen, but Adam Sandler, he's in a lot of different sports movies, though.
Yeah, I mean he's just
Happy
in.
Gilmore. What? Well, that's
Okay.
okay because you haven't seen The Sandlot either. Who's never seen
uh,
The Sandlot?
apparently her.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Yep, I love Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Yep, Happy Gilmore's a great one.
Ooh, Varsity Blues is a good one with James Vanderbeek.
Did another one? It's not really Varsity Blues, but it feels almost similar, like the cousin of it. It's another series, Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
More comedic
Jacob,
football take.
We all know you don't watch a lot of movies, and two, you definitely don't like sports ball.
Man, they're throwing out all of the great ones here.
The Doctor doesn't watch movies either. Longest Yard,
Little Giants.
I love The Longest Yard, both of them.
Oh, the original and the Adam Sandler one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with Burt Reynolds. So
no.
I like the one with the cookie on the ice with the skates.
The
cookie
on the ice with skates.
Shut up, Jacob! I could hear you laughing from here.
Unless he's talking about one of the Mighty Ducks movies where there's a cookie situation.
Okay, listen, I love the Mighty Ducks, and
I'm not
always loved the Mighty Ducks. I've never. Well, no, he's kind of like skating with cookies. There's the cowboy that skates with cookies.
With the cookies, yeah.
Yeah. Do you consider horse racing a sport?
Yes, I consider horse racing a sport.
Oh, the puck. You were talking about the puck.
Yeah.
Boxes
of glory.
Yeah, that's it, Heather. Good job.
But Blaze of Glory is the Will Ferrell one. Speaking of Will Ferrell ones that he's done, Tropic, the basketball one where it's he's the coach owner of a team called the Tropics.
Oh yeah.
Let me Google
that. I can't remember. I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, so.
Well, he's also in a pretty funny soccer one called Kicking and Screaming, where it's about youth soccer, and I love that one.
That's a pretty good one. Tropic Thunder is not the right movie.
No, Tropic Thunder is not. He plays on a team called the Tropics, but it's not Tropic Thunder. That's a very different one. And he's also
Robert Downey Jr. as a black man.
And there is Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
I like Dodgeball.
Yeah. Semi-Pro is the one where he's
Semi-Pro,
on
that's it.
And what's funny, his team's named the Tropics, and they're based like in a northern city, like Minnesota or like Michigan or something like that. And it's totally like just him being like a basketball player.
You know, technically, Bring It On is also a sport movie.
With cheerleading, yeah.
I mean, that one has Elijah Dushku, so I'd watch it anytime.
So are you talking, whenever you were asking about horse racing, were you talking about Seabiscuit?
Secretariat. Yeah. So there's also Dreamer that was inspired by a true story. That was more of horse racing, not like kind of like a more farm style rather than like Seabiscuit or Secretariat.
Yeah.
They're going off on this whole Ricky Bobby thing.
Oh yeah, they are all about some Talladega Nights right now. I mean, first or last. That's right.
It's a good one. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies. I just don't like him. So
my new nickname is El Diablo. It means like the chicken.
Coach Carter was a good one.
Ooh, Coach Carter is a good one.
Yep.
Glory Road's another great one. Like
you can't go wrong with Mr. Jackson.
No.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey. I don't know what to do with my hand. I'm all huffed up a Mountain Dew.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
Now, why is it baby Jesus?
I just like the baby version better.
A really good Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore movie, Fever Pitch. getting into
Mm.
baseball.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, its main focus is a romance story, but there is that with the whole guy being all about the Bo Sox.
Yeah, he loved the foot or the baseball team. So
Yeah,
I mean, it has to. Okay, Jimmy Fallon, I could take or leave him. It's fine. Drew Barrymore, still one of my favorite actresses.
yeah.
Um, but I've seen that movie maybe once, and the fact that I can remember seeing it, what
Probably
22
fit.
years later.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, it's been some time since that movie dropped.
Well, it's 2005, so it's not exactly 22, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You know what I mean. 17, but it's fine.
we're gonna round it up because it feels like
Yeah,
it's been 20 years ago since you've seen it.
7,000 years later.
Oh, they're still going at it.
They are.
It's like one of my. It is such a highly quotable movie.
Baby, you should. One. Never mind. I'm not. No. Moving on. What about the Rocky series?
Mm. Uh, I could go on about the Rocky series all day. It is a movie I have watched so many times growing up. Um, as crazy as it is, Rocky 4 is still probably my favorite Rocky movie of all time.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
the one wherever he gets beat, where Apollo gets beat by the Russian.
Yeah.
Something super sad happens, and then Rocky goes to Russia and fights the Russian, and everybody's like, "Oh, like go," like very boo Rocky, and then at the end of it, everybody's cheering for him. It's just such a good, heartfelt movie.
I mean, I like Rocky movies in a whole. I did enjoy the Creed movies very well. I like that they're coming out with a third one with Apollo's son. Um, I can't really pick which Rocky is my favorite because I like them all. But I definitely like number one, number four, and then I like the fifth one.
I never cared for the fifth one.
Really,
the
kind of like
the The street fight at the end just takes it out for me.
I don't know, man. I'm into this whole, and we've talked about this on several different movies. I'm into this whole let's bring the older style into the newer days. You know what I mean?
Well, like that's what I liked about Six Balboa. Wherever he's retired and he comes back,
Balboa is a good one.
and they do that whole generated fight, and it's Rocky would beat this guy, and that guy gets all butthurt about, oh yeah, they said that you would beat me, and it's like, yeah, him in his prime would definitely beat you, not him at his old age.
Right. You're telling me that Michael B. Jordan is Apollo's real kid?
I'm not. They might be talking about Cinderella Man, but
Oh,
maybe
that's different.
that was his real kid. Oh, okay. Well, whose kid was whose kid?
Yeah. Yeah, come on. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Oh, in Rocky 5. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The person who plays as the person he was training, who becomes just a complete jerk. That's he's Stallone's son. Also, Stallone's brother plays in a good majority of the Rocky movies. He's the guy who's generally seen singing out in the streets whenever there's the fire pits. That's
Yeah.
actually Stallone's actual brother.
Um
Oh, okay. From the early ones?
she said in Rocky 5.
Okay. Yeah, we are doing this thing live right now.
Yes, mom. Yes, mom. I don't know. I'll take your word on it, Heather. I'll have to.
Okay.
Oh,
Sage Stallone. Okay.
okay. Spice Stallone. Okay.
Well, I know that Stallone has like three daughters who are now like part of like the modeling industry now,
Yeah.
and he's very like supportive of them on like their Instagrams and stuff like that.
Huh. Didn't even realize it.
Another, it's not really a boxing movie. It's more just um, MMA in general. The Warrior is a really great fighting movie. If you guys
Yeah.
ever get a chance to see that, it has this really cool, story of brothers, a military background part to it, and just an interesting take on MMA in general.
What about Bronson?
Ooh, since it's not really about boxing, but more about like prison fighting and him like just picking fights, I'm not sure if I would consider that a sports film. I do enjoy Bronson. It is a great movie, but I don't consider it a sports movie as much as I do just a general action slash biopic.
I mean, that's how I kind of feel. Well, not the biopic, but about the Karate Kid. Like, I know it's about, karate and learning the ways, but I don't look at it as a sports movie.
You see it as an action film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I guess that's kind of like it would depend, like on the, I guess what the main focus of the movie is.
That's
Um,
true.
because like just like I heard about like, in Fever Pitch, I don't like. Yes, it does have a heavily Red Sox influence to it, but I consider that more of a romantic comedy over a sports movie. Whereas in
I don't know. I mean, I,
Moneyball,
I guess it was about the love of the game versus the love for the woman.
yeah, I could see that. Like, though I do love Moneyball as a great one, and as Heather mentioned earlier, Major League
Major
as
League, definitely a good movie. It's a
oh,
great movie.
so great, so great. Um, it's just that over the top kind of goofiness that I just really get into because um, that like it for people who were younger at that time, the two movies that they always relate to with baseball is one Rookie of the Year with one
And
of the silliest premises, and then Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I could probably say that was my first baseball movie that I can remember.
yeah. I want to say it was either for me. My first one that I remember was either Angels in the Outfield or Field of Dreams.
The Rookie. Yep. Also, what was that one? It had Ethan Hawke in it.
Uh,
Phenom?
hmm.
Dodgeball's
I,
already been said.
I am trying to run my head on Ethan Hawke film in which he was doing a sport thing.
I think it's like the only one.
It might be Phenom.
Um, gosh, there's just so many different movies. I mean, if I had to pick a movie about sports, like a certain sport, I would probably pick football movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I mean,
Um,
you have Remember the Titans, you just have so many. Longest Yard, both of them. Um,
yeah, the one where The Rock's in it, and he's
Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron Gang. Yeah, another just great one like that.
You know what
Any
movie
given
about sports
Sunday.
was really sold short though?
Hmm.
Any movie about golf.
Yeah, that's outside of like we were talking about earlier, Happy Gilmore.
Yep. But I mean, you have Happy Gilmore, you have the greatest game ever played, you have the short game, you have
Tin Cup.
Bagger Vance,
Yeah,
Tin
the
Cup.
Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many different ones. There was one up here that I saw. Where is it? Well, Caddyshack.
Mm, I forgot about Caddyshack for a minute.
What?
Yeah,
How
I
do you
just
do that?
I whenever I was thinking of more like I guess serious sports movies, and I went to, oh yeah, there's Caddyshack. I didn't take the more lighthearted route outside of like Happy Gilmore and Tin Cup.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like soccer, hockey, and golf are kind of left. Like we don't really
Right,
think of them as sports movies, you know?
right. We've mentioned at least one movie from all three of those ones because we mentioned the Mighty Ducks, which is for most people the big hockey movie that they watch where it's anything hockey. It's, oh yeah, did that happen in Mighty Ducks?
I don't know. I'd rather like was it The Miracle? I would think of The
Oh
Miracle
yeah,
before of
The
The Mighty
Miracle.
Ducks and Goon with Sean William Scott.
I never really like. I didn't care much for Goon. Really, it
I mean, I
wasn't my
thought it
go.
was a typical Sean William Scott movie.
Yeah, it very much is. But I do like Miracle. I think that whenever ESPN did their 30 for 30 docu series on that one, it was done really well. But from a movie perspective, just as a pure film, The Miracle is a great one for hockey.
Miracle's pretty good. I mean, I
Um,
don't count movies like Space Jam to actually be sports movies either.
no,
I mean, it's about basketball and I get it, but there's so I feel like even though this is not true, there's more football than there is basketball movies. I just feel like basketball is just like everywhere, and I'm just like, all right, because I really don't care about basketball, so maybe that's it.
maybe because like there are some good, yeah, Glory Road, Coach Carter, as you mentioned, um, semi pro as we talked about earlier. The Space Jams, if you want to make them into those ones, all kind of fall into that whole, you know, basketball. But and that's the thing is, there's a lot of basketball films to where it's more um, weirdly they seem to focus more on just like one primary era of
Yeah,
basketball, and that's where it gets stuck.
yeah. I mean, but if you're gonna watch an actual movie about basketball, like Coach Carter, for example,
Right.
like I would consider that a basketball movie. But Space Jam, it's more like here's something fun with cartoons.
Gotcha.
Like
No,
Jamie
that makes
said,
sense.
Bend It Like Beckham.
Good,
A pretty
good.
cute soccer movie.
Another cute soccer movie is actually Kung Fu Soccer. No, not Kung Fu Soccer. Shaolin Soccer is that one.
Ah,
It's a Chinese-based soccer tournament movie that's just overly done with sports antics around soccer. It's with Shaolin monks playing soccer.
I really think my favorite soccer movie would have to be McFarlane USA, though. That was soccer, right?
No, McFarlane USA was about cross country. That would be my favorite soccer movie. Big
Then
Green.
which one am I thinking about? Oh, Big Green.
Yep. Where it's the team in
Stop clicking
Texas.
on it.
You quit clicking on it.
You quit clicking on it.
Oh no, the Big Green is one of those really goofy, very slice of Americana takes on soccer, and I
Are
get a
you
good
just
kick
like
out of it.
naming movies even though we're like busy talking about other movies? So you just keep posting like 4 different movies?
Yes, that's what she's doing.
She's like, just as I think of them.
Yeah. No, McFarland USA is about cross country running with a group who in like a poor part of, I want to think, either California or Arizona, and
What movie am I thinking of then that has the same field about it's like these kids that are in a rough neighborhood and like they find out that they can there's a scene where a couple kids are sitting outside of a gas station and they start kicking a can back and forth and then like cops show up so they start running and like the guy sees them who happens to be the new soccer coach.
um, I feel like that's a scene out of, no, because that's whenever the two Italian kids were playing on Kicking and Screaming. Though
No, it's
now that
not that one.
no, though now that you're mentioning it, I feel like um, it might have been from the Big Green, but that doesn't sound right
Maybe.
either. of
Maybe.
just
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
some kids kicking a can and the coach rolling up to there and being like, "Oh, you should be part of this team."
It could happen. It could happen.
Which I mean,
Oh,
there's so many sports films that use that trope of
I mean, that's true.
here's this kid, he's going through something that isn't sports related. He does something and he shows an athletic side to him, and now either the coach or fellow team members are going to be like, yeah, we should totally recruit this person. I.e., Mighty Ducks has that with the Enforcers. Um, in McFarland USA, they have a situation similar to that, to where it's one of these kids is running because he has to get to work in the fields every day, and the coach sees that and is just like, "Hey, you should come be on this cross country team because your speed is so much better doing that."
I
And
feel like that
having
happens in a lot of sports movies.
right, exactly. That's a common thread of sports movies. I mean, come on, that's basically The Water Boy.
True. So the number one rated sports movie that Rotten Tomatoes rated was the Ford v Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. It just came out earlier. I think it came out either early this year or late. No. I want to think it was a 2021, wasn't it? It came out right before COVID, or was it
Nope,
2019?
2019.
Okay. I feel like I saw it in theaters at some, like, not theaters, just like a trailer for it, and then never heard anything about it because at that point COVID was the main focus. So was it more towards the end of 2019?
I guess so. I mean, I vaguely remember it going to theaters, to be honest. So they rate that Ford v Ferrari number one. They
Okay.
rate Creed number two.
I do
This
love the
next one
second.
I think is hilarious. I, Tanya is number three. Have you ever seen I, Tanya?
No, I still haven't yet to I, Tanya, but I feel like what Rotten Tomatoes is doing there is there's recency bias.
No, I don't
So,
think so because some of the other movies are pretty old.
well, I mean, the top three are less than 5 years old.
No, Creed was 2015.
Okay, so 7 years old.
Well, it's not five.
Yeah, I got you, but I mean, but that's the thing is, um, I would say take a film like a movie like the first Rocky movie. It's not going to have as high as we now see there. Creed 2, even though there would be a lot of people who would say it's a better film. I mean,
Well, don't you think that in that case,
did.
Creed 2 would have been up there, not Creed 1?
I'm just saying, like, as far as age wise.
Rocky is number 17 on the list out of 150.
Okay, I mean, what you got to consider is the first Rocky movie did win an Academy Award for Best Picture that year.
Okay. I don't think that they're basing it off of like accreditations. I think they're mostly of how well they were rated. That's just how they
Right.
went about it.
Well, right. I'm just saying again. For me, it's the whole recency bias because Ford versus Ferrari. It's an okay movie, but I'm not putting it as my number one.
Well, number 4, they have The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. 2008.
I'm aware of the movie. And here's the thing. I like pro wrestling. I like pro wrestling based movies. Ready to Rumble, even though most people just totally hate it, I actually enjoy it for all the wrong reasons. And so, but I do like The Wrestler and its portrayal of aging lower level professional wrestling, amateur professional wrestling.
I really liked Fighting with My Family.
I loved Fighting with My Family. That was really good.
They rated that number 5.
Okay.
Free Solo is about rock climbing.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been some loose take on Hope Solo, the goalie for the United States women's soccer team.
No, it's about rock climbing. I guess that's a sport. I don't know. That's number 6.
Okay.
Moneyball is number 7.
I think I briefly mentioned Moneyball when we were talking about movies that we enjoy. That might be my friend James's favorite sports movie is Moneyball.
Really?
Yeah.
National Velvet from 1944 is number 8.
Is the horse racing film, right? National Velvet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Elizabeth Taylor in it, Mickey Rooney.
Before you show the next one, I guess Free Solo is a movie I now have to watch. Because even though you and I both have a fear of heights for
Yeah.
different reasons, but there's something about seeing it in a film version of it that I'm curious on.
Oh, I mean, from the little bit that I've seen of it, because I've never watched the movie, it would make me go, "Ooh, that's high." Maiden about boating is number 9. That was
When
2018.
okay.
Ooh, good one. Bull Durham,
Oh,
1988,
Bull
coming in at
Durham
number
is a
10.
great one. I do enjoy myself some Bull Durham.
So I think that your whole recency thing is kind of out the window here, because number 11 is 1966. Number 12 is 1994. So Endless Summer 1966 coming in at 11. It's a surfer movie.
It is a very. It's
Hoop
probably
Dreams
the most known surfer
1994
movie.
as number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Raging Bull 1980 coming in at number 13.
13. So I mean, yes, out of the top 20, I mean, again, I just feel like the top 3 there was a slight recency bias to it, just as far as Rotten Tomatoes voting pattern.
I mean, I wouldn't look at it as a recency kind of, bias, as more of a. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like more people wanted to go to the movies to see this. Like, I wanted to go see Creed because of Rocky.
Yeah.
I do think it was very well done, and it had a different element to it that Rocky never had.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Number 14 of 2005, Murder Ball.
Oh no, Murder Ball. I got a different one mixed up with Murder Ball. Murder Ball is about the it's pretty much rugby and wheelchairs.
Yep, the quad rugby team.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
like based on a true story. It's a
Yes, it
documentary.
is. It's a documentary. Whenever you first said Murder Ball, it made me think of the. It's more of a futuristic movie about where it's like a competition kind of thing where people try to.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Rollerball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that movie.
it's a good one.
Number 16 is a Marx Brothers movie, Horse Feathers, 1932.
Horse Feathers is pretty funny.
We already talked about Rocky, 1976, coming in at number 17. Next Goal Wins of 2014, coming in at 18. I've never heard of that movie.
I'm guessing it's a documentary movie. Next Goal Wins.
No, it's the typical take this losing team and make them good movie.
Okay.
For soccer.
Okay.
2014. So
interesting.
Win-Win of 2011 coming in at 19.
I can't say I've seen that one either.
And then here we go. The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, 2007 coming in at 20.
About retro video game competitions.
Yes.
I love myself A Fistful of Quarters. Here's the thing. They released it a re-edited version of it. They released it out on video, and I watched that one even before they released the one that's now kind of open to the commercial public. I've watched both of them. Do you consider retro video gaming or just esports as a sport?
I really don't. I think it takes tremendous skill on some games, but I just
because
I
like
wouldn't consider it a sport.
if we're doing that, then you could technically consider The Wizard a sports film,
right?
Which for those of you who don't know what The Wizard is, it's about literally NES video game competitions, where it's more just how well does these people do on these Nintendo games.
Right. So, with 10 minutes left, we went through the top 20 on Rotten Tomatoes here. Bad News Bears is number 26. Creed 2 came in at 27.
The new Bad News Bears or the old Bad News Bears?
Old, 1976.
The better one, yeah.
It's like calling chess a sport. Well, they do that now because everyone gets participation ribbons. So
yeah, and if we're calling that, then there are a few decent chess movies as well.
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit for Netflix is a good chess series like that.
Let's see here. What's another good one? I mean, they're all good ones, but Pumping Iron, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh yeah, the documentary
1977 came in at number 49.
That made him famous and into kind of the pop culture world. Yeah, with
Dogtown and Z Boys 2001 came in at 52.
You know what one we have not talked about?
What?
And I'm guessing that it's on there. Cool Runnings.
No, I don't think I saw it.
Jamaican bobsled team with good old John Candy as their coach.
That was a great movie.
It is so goofy and silly, but very heartfelt. And just anytime I watch it, it's another one that has a lot of just those great one-liners from it.
Cool Runnings of 1993 came in at 117. Yep. White Man Can't Jump, 1992, came in at 113.
Okay. White Man Can't Jump's a fun one.
Yep. Well, we have about 9 minutes left, so I wanted to talk to you guys about something.
Okay.
I saw I'm going to sit up for this. I saw the funniest pilot episode of a reality show on Netflix today.
Okay.
It's called Snowflake.
Is the name of the show?
Yep.
Well, what's the premise of this?
It's where these parents are so aggravated with their adult children being lazy asses and not getting jobs and being entitled and stuff that they literally ship them out. Yep, they literally ship them out to two survivalist guys and put them in the woods. So I think that I'm going to take a couple minutes, the next couple of our episodes.
Okay.
And give a rating of this. Jeff, if you want to join in, you are more than welcome.
I might have to, with all my other shows, try to find a way to sneak in a few episodes of this Snowflake. Because I do enjoy,
even if you just do one a week.
Right, I do enjoy survival shows of any kind of nature, even like the bad ones.
Derek is right. So many Disney originals.
Yeah.
Like Safety.
Johnny Tsunami.
Yep. So in this episode, we meet the people. They think that they're going to a resort.
Of course they do.
They pull up into the middle of the woods and they're like, wait, where's my resort? And so the guys are like, yeah, so this is what's really happening. You're going to be here and you're going to be taught to stand up on your own and not be such lazy, entitled assholes, basically. So they're like, okay, take only the essentials out of your bag. Somebody grabbed a basketball. This guy looks up and goes, should I bring nail polish? Yeah.
Yes.
You have to watch episodes 1 and 2 before next Thursday, okay?
All right.
Or if we're going back to Wednesday, we're not sure yet. Today was kind of a...
What was that?
I don't know. Jamie's yelling at the dogs.
Oh. I thought we had mentioned a movie and she was saying that it sucked.
Maybe.
Like, Johnny Tsunami sucked. Oh, you're not totally wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. So yeah, watch those 2 episodes and we'll talk about the second episode next week.
Okay, so
watching
is this just supposed to be like basic wilderness survival?
Yeah, so they had them
any kind of like
short hike,
out there kind of things.
No, it's not like Survivor.
Well, like Survivor Man or Dual Survival or anything like
No,
that.
it's not that bad. I mean, they are being watched and they can leave at any time. They really can like be like, "Up, I'm out. I'm done." One person
Okay.
on the first episode has already left.
Oh, that always happens.
They were tasked with getting food, so they had to split into two groups.
Hmm.
One group's food was tied up on some rope hanging from trees, and they
Okay.
had to figure out how to get it down.
Right.
And the other group's was in the middle of a lake on top of a dock, and they had to figure out how to bring the dock to shore to get the
To the
food.
shore, or some kind of creative way to get out to the dock to retrieve the food.
Right. So one of these little asshole kids, he's probably like early 20s. He's a little asshole kid.
Hmm.
Decides that the food that he gets, there was like chocolate in it, marshmallows, graham crackers, fruits, crackers, like just, food.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, let's hide our food, only give them like the shitty stuff. And then we can have the food for ourselves and we don't have to tell them. So we'll eat all of their food and we'll still have our food as well.
I no, and here's the funny thing that I consider on this. Well, that is a complete like dick move. A person like him who's that entitled, who thinks that much of themselves, who don't really know diddly squat about outdoors kind of stuff. I'm sure for him, what he considers, let's give them the bad stuff, is actually the really essentials that you would need for camping survival. And he's like, yeah, let me keep the chocolate and the marshmallows because that's what I really need for this.
Yep. So one guy who he even says, he's like, yeah, I'm lazy. Like, I don't do dishes or cook or clean up after myself because I don't have to do it to live.
There are
Okay.
people who have that mindset.
Yeah, so he's like, I don't know, like I haven't pooped all day, so I think I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. So then they sit everyone down near this campfire at the end of day one, and they're like, all right, well, just to let you know from here on out, um, if you do decide to leave, which you can at any time, you will be leaving $50,000. Because whoever makes it to the end gets
$50,000.
$50,000. And they're like, oh, $50,000. I can buy so many like Instagram followers with that, and blah blah blah. And then they're like,
Wait, wait,
here's the
wait,
kicker.
wait, hold on. Are you serious that one of them said what they could buy with 50,000 is Instagram followers?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So the next, they're like, but there's a catch. For every person that leaves, $5,000 is taken away from the bank.
Hmm.
There's this like chubby gay kid from England on there. He's hilarious. He's like, oh my god, I've never done something so tough in my whole life. Blech. And I was like, what? You were walking. That's all you
Yeah.
did. You walked.
Yeah, you walked, and then
Huh.
here's the thing: how you said it in there. Their foraging for food was literally, we put food in bags. You have to go get it. They literally didn't have to forage for actual food. They didn't have to do trap setting or any kind of hunter gatherer techniques.
Yep.
It's literally, we gave you food. You just have to get it out of trees or get it out of a lake. And by getting out of
Yes.
a lake, you're not saying they have to use fishing techniques or any kind of fish trapping techniques. It's literally, there's your food. I don't care if you have to swim to it. Go get it.
This whole episode made me very angry.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's a part of me that wants to watch it. There's a part of me that has watched so many survival based shows where they talk about, basic, here's what you need to do to survive. Here's if you put in a survival situation. And I'm like, what you just described there, I get like they're entitled. They don't know basic of it. But that's a whole new level.
Dude, I'm telling you, just watch it. It'll make you as angry as it made me, and then we can like rant about it on here.
I'm for that. I'm for that. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know, overly. I grew up scouting. I grew up doing that. While I'm not as much, into the camping outdoor life, I still retain a good amount of those skills, and I
Yeah.
still enjoy watching those people who can do it. Alone is one of my favorite TV series because it literally is. we're going to put you out here with any 10 survival tools, and you just stay out here in the middle of bear, wolf, mountain lion country for as long as you can. Whoever the last one does, you get this big old prize.
Yeah, I mean, I like shows like that too, and I dislike snowflake people. So
Yeah.
Lisa says, I think that would be super fascinating to watch. Well, it's on Netflix.
Not fascinating,
Lisa.
frustrating.
Oh, I thought she said fascinating.
No, because it would be that anger that you're feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I already know. Like I would have that whole feeling, just like watching these people. And you know what the most annoying part, and maybe I this is a wrong way to look at it. There's potentially people there who will, if they get 5,000 taken away from them, you're looking at least one or two people who are probably going to walk away from that show making $35,000 to $40,000.
Yep.
All for, hey, they kind of learned a few basic survival techniques and to stand on their own feet.
I really hope that they go home and become productive members of society, to be honest with you, because there are a couple people that I want to be like, can I put them on the show? Can I do that, please? Because please let me teach them something, or somebody else teach them something. Somebody teach them something.
Teach them something.
So,
and I think for me, and again, yes, we're talking about two different levels of things, but I'm just going to be sitting there and being like, this is how they're going to make money. If that's the case, sign me up for 5 of those. I'll act entitled for 6 months if that means that you'll put me on that show and I'll win the whole thing.
I could see you definitely like pretending to be an entitled person, but then as soon as like somebody says something totally just like against, you're just like, you're fucking stupid, bud. You're spare part.
Right. Like they get me out to the show, they come on there, oh, I'm quitting over this. I haven't pooped in a day. Dude, it's camping.
Just
figure it out. Just you're literally
this
in
is
a
one
forest.
girl that starts crying, and the host of the show, he's like, I'm really a nice guy. She's like, no, you're not. I want to go home. So that's what we're gonna do next week. We'll spend about 10 minutes going and reviewing this show.
I will try not to rage watch it, but I don't know how well that's gonna go.
No, 1 episode a week.
Okay. I think I can make it through 1 episode a week.
If I have to drag your ass over here and make you watch 1 episode with me, I swear.
I guess I'll replace that with the typical hour that I spend watching Board Game Club a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Board Game Club, yes. Jamie's like, really? I said yes.
Yeah. I watch a weekly show called Board Game Club where they play a different game every single week, and it's super fun to watch. New board games that inspire me to want to get more board games.
Woo! All right, guys, join us next week for a new topic and our review of snowflakes. So we will see you then. Thanks for watching.
Have a great one, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.